from a schedule standpoint, and we'll make a risk-based decision based on a whole host of factors. If we do need to roll back to the vehicle assembly building, we could top off the batteries for a number of those, or they may not even need to be topped off based on what we believe to be the known battery decay rate and battery state of charge. I personally haven't seen all that data, but it is part of the process of looking at a given launch period, and we will share that information with our CubeSat providers and then decide what the appropriate next steps are. Whether or not any of those are at risk at this point, I don't have the data in front of me to answer that question.
Thanks, Mike. Micah Maidenberg with Wall Street Journal. Put your hand.
Hi, Mike. I wanted to follow up on the pressurization that you mentioned. Micah Maidenberg, Wall Street Journal. Just back to the inadvertent pressurization, that was 3 times the amount of pressure that was planned for. Could you walk us through sort of what led up to that, and have you seen that before in practice runs or at the testing facility? Thanks.
So we're still reviewing the data and the sequence of events, but as I understand it, it occurred during the chill down prior to the loading operation associated with loading the liquid hydrogen and liquid oxygen, and it was part of the preparatory steps. And there was a sequence of about a dozen commands that were required, and it was simply the wrong valve was commanded, and it was identified after about 3 or 4 seconds, and then it was rectified. So that's what we understand. We know what the pressure profile looked like at this particular interface, and we're looking at again the sequence, and as was mentioned by our lead project engineer earlier today, we want to be deliberate and careful about drawing conclusions here, because correlation does not equal causation. So we are taking a look at the inadvertent overpress, and we're looking at what that meant to this particular interface. And then we're looking at the fault tree associated with the leak that we saw, and if there is a conjunction of potential causes on the fault tree, then that'll take us down one path. If there is no root cause that you can trace to that, then that'll take us down a different path. So again, it's a little early to tell. We've looked through quite a bit of information already, but we got to work our way through this one, and we're going to do it methodically.
Jeff Faust with Space News.
Jeff Faust of Space News. If the Eastern Range allows you to extend the life of the FTS and you're able to do the repairs on the pad, are there any other factors that would allow you to stay there and not have to roll back?
I think what I said earlier is we have to look at our stay at the pad, because there's some, for Orion at the crew and service module, there's some constraints at how much time they can spend at the pad versus the winds. So we have to look at that, and if we're within that, that would be something we'd look at as a plus side if we can stay within that analysis. But I think ultimately we're driven by the FTS. I don't know if you have anything to add to that, Mike.
Yeah, we need to look at what work exactly we need to do, and there may be, depending on the fault tree analysis and any inspection work that we do, it may mean that the vehicle assembly building is the right place to go do this work. We are mindful that we're out there in the elements when we're at the pad. That has a couple of pros and cons associated with it. The cons happen pretty much every afternoon around here when you get a shower or a thunderstorm rolling through, and we
just
don't want to.
Checking out the tail end of this press conference from NASA as we have had another little
issues
scrubble-lub-dub
we deemated it out there
for the SLS today. on a completely different issue, related. I mean, as far as the type of issue it was, but in an unrelated area than what we had on Monday.
Is certainly one variable that we've got to consider as part
I'm not
of
sure
all
if they've
this.
told us what
Jim
time
said
they
earlier, the range has in the space
they
force
think
have
they'll be
been
able to give it a
fantastic
go on
partners
Monday
working
or
with us as
Tuesday.
part of
Tuesday seems
our
unlikely since it's only
AC
like a
work.
short window.
We don't own that
So
decision.
we'll see.
The range owns
Let's
that
listen in a
decision.
little more.
So,
Hello,
we
welcome
have
to Trek Radio
work with
Official
them
on a
and talk
Saturday
to them before any
afternoon, by the way.
decisions are made.
Marina Corin with The Atlantic.
I don't know how much longer this is going to go. We cut it pretty. It was already like
Hi,
20.
Marina Corin with
30
The
minutes in
Atlantic.
progress.
Are you at all considering doing another wet dress rehearsal after you've implemented some repairs?
Every launch attempt's a
Instead of
wet
going
dress,
right
lady.
into another launch attempt. The administrator said
It's
earlier,
like-
we're not going to launch until it's right.
Like the guys
So
on
in order
NASA
to get to
Space
that
Flight said,
point,
these
is
are
there anything that would make you say,
wet dress
okay,
rehearsals
let's
with
go
a
back and
chance
go
for
into
launch,
test until it's
basically.
right? Thank you.
Yeah, I guess what I'd say is, whatever the connection that we're testing under ambient is going to be acts a lot different than cryogens. We've tested this one in our wet dress rehearsal 4, this sealed at 4. We saw it manageable the other day. So to us, hydrogen's difficult to work with. I think Mike characterized that a couple of press conferences ago. So from our perspective, we may look at in these options when we stay at the pad, if we change it at the pad, do we do that cryogenic test there? And what that cryogenic test consists of is TBD. That's what the team will come up with. But from my perspective, we tested this at a wet dress. So to say, hey, we should have done another wet dress, this one sealed at the wet dress. I will take everybody back. I think the summer of 1990 was the summer of hydrogen, where shuttle had been launching for 9 years, and they spent a whole summer chasing hydrogen leaks. So I'm not saying that's an excuse. That's just a fact. And we've seen a couple different hydrogen leaks.
Did we learn anything from that in 1990?
Whatever this
That could
fault was,
help
we
here.
have to find out, and we will run it to ground and build
Not
that
really dealing
confidence
with
that I
new
talked about earlier
technology
to
here.
come out there again. If the team says, hey, a wet dress is the way to go, then we need to figure that out. But right now, from my perspective, we've tested this. It's worked a couple times, and it didn't today. We'll figure out the reason why.
And the only thing I would add is we know we don't need to do a full wet dress rehearsal if we were to test out this interface. For example, we don't need to load the interim cryo propulsion stage or the upper stage. We know that those interfaces are fine. So if we were to do a cryo test at this particular interface after some work is done at the pad, we don't need to do a full up wet dress rehearsal, if that makes sense.
Next up, we have another question on the phones. David Curley with Discovery.
Serafin, you talked about it being inadvertent. Was that software that caused the overpressurization, and is that something you've not seen other times when you were doing the pre-chill? And I take it from your earlier answer, soft goods, that you're considering that the overpressurization may have affected our gaskets, O-rings, anything that's pliable. Thank you.
Yeah, so the first part of that question, the inadvertent command and overpress, again, it's a little bit early to tell exactly what happened. We're still working our way through it, but what we do know that this was a manual sequence,
Okay.
and it may have been the fact that we didn't automate this particular sequence.
Oof.
That could have been part of the reason that we had the inadvertent overpressure. There are a whole host of other reasons that when you're an operator and you're working through a command sequence that could have also come into play. So we're just going to have to take time and look through it. We're going to look through the data, and we will go back and reassess exactly why this inadvertent command happened. In terms of soft goods, yes, it's basically a seal that is a non-metallic material. I don't remember what the particular material is, but yes, that's what we mean, or what I mean when I say soft goods.
Thanks, Mike. Irene Klotz with Aviation Week.
Thanks. I think this is probably for Mike. There was some time between the recommendation to scrub and when Charlie decided to call it a day. Was there additional troubleshooting that was being discussed as an option? Is there anything else that was gleaned from the
Recommend
activities
scrub,
that took place today?
time till the final
And then
decision.
separately,
What kind of
is the
question is that
sensor
about?
issue
Just
that
talking
we
it
were
over,
talking
right?
about a couple of days ago, is that a factor at all? In
Double
any of
checking
these
some
scenarios?
things. Whatever.
I'll start with your last question.
Yeah, it goes
the
the
short
first one.
answer is no. The sensor issue that we saw the other day, that is on the engine side as part of the engine bleed that's used to thermally condition the engines.
Address
What do you
it
get?
during this.
What do you get?
No, that really hasn't entered into the discussion. In terms of additional troubleshooting, there was a pause before a scrub was declared just to ensure that we had exhausted all of our options.
Yeah, no doubt.
And we had some discussions come from our engineering team as to what a potential option may be, and it turned out to not be a viable option. So there were some ongoing discussions to ensure that we had really exhausted all of our options, and that's why there was a little bit of a pause towards the end.
Does she think if there was a juicy tidbit to be given that he would actually say it?
Here in the second row.
Oh, we got into a big fist fight over the decision. Come on.
Hi, my name is Jacob Sidesi. I'm a
Never gonna
student
tell
tech
you that.
reporter at WUFT News out of the University of Florida. I have two questions. One, so I know I heard earlier that the temperature affects how the rocket launch goes in some ways. So as summer goes into fall, goes into winter, how is this mission going to need
Into
to be
hurricane
adapted,
season.
Going forward this far
Yeah,
into
your
the
wet
future?
dress rehearsal
And
was
second
how
of all,
long
I
ago
know
at this
it's one
point?
You're not going to want to hear right now, but I want to ask it anyway. How does this pushback affect the timeline of the Artemis program as a whole?
Ooh. Wait, they already decided on a pushback? I got to look this up.
We are still planning.
I missed the first
Artemis
part of
2
this.
in 2024 and Artemis 3 in 25.
Okay, and then in
2
terms of
years from
temperature
now.
effects, because we have a combination of solid
Weird,
propellant
man.
in the boosters and liquid propellant in the core stage, the core stage really has no significant impact due to temperature other than what we call the boil off, which is you cause the propellant to go from a liquid to a gas, and you're not able to feed the engines as part of that. There's essentially no effect associated with that because as we go from summer into the fall months, because you load the cryo and then you go and you ensure that the tank is full before you go. In terms of the solid propulsion system, the lower the bulk temperature of the propellant, the lower the performance you get, and we know what the performance characteristics of these particular boosters are, and they've been tested throughout the full range. The summer months you get the most performance out of the solids, and the performance will be slightly lower in the fall. But when we looked at our performance numbers, they were
Searching for Artemis on Twitter. It's NASA targeting September 3rd. Like, how many days old is this information?
We're not particularly concerned with performance of the
So
rocket at this
stupid.
point.
In the back here, behind Joey.
I'm trying to see what the latest is on this.
Thank
Probably
you.
came out of
Honorable
this
Santi from
press
Levante.
conference and we just missed it.
Given these two cancellations and further delays, I would like to know how this affect the other payload on board, like the 10 CubeSats that we have. Is there any reason that we need change battery changes, or how this affect the CubeSats? Thank you.
I think we answered the CubeSat question earlier. We know that we have limited battery life on the CubeSats, and we understand what the decay rate is. The customers of the CubeSats have been made aware of what our access is before the CubeSats were ever loaded. We also have payloads inside the Orion capsule, things like radiation monitors and a number of other things. And we
Not
know
seeing anything.
what the
I think that
installed
would
or
be the top
baseline configuration
headline
was.
if they set a
Obviously,
different
the longer
date
you
that's
sit out there
not
on the pad,
Monday or
the more radiation some of these sensors will
Tuesday.
accrue.
I can't
But
imagine
we
it's
also
like
have
Tuesday,
witness
though.
sensors in there to help us understand what we accumulated during the space flight portion as opposed to here on the ground. So
I would suspect if it's not going to happen Monday, it doesn't happen until
that we plan ahead and
October.
track And at this point, that
I saw a calendar.
really focused on getting the vehicle ready. And
potential launch
we
dates.
understand
It was
what
either
the
late
potential
September
impacts are to the
or
payloads
first
and,
half
and the
October, somewhere in
CubeSats,
there.
whether they're in Orion or on the Space Launch System rocket as part of the 10 CubeSats. So, I think we've talked that. So,
Here in the second row.
Hi, Denise Vickers from WUFT at the University of Florida. My question is for the senator. We understand that you're not going until you're ready and that it's right. And we know that scrubs are a very natural part of all of the space missions. That said, I gotta believe that there's some level of disappointment. Can you describe the demeanor inside the LCC, and specifically how's Charlie Blackwell?
Of course, we're disappointed, but he's not going to go any further than that. Come on, what are these questions?
The decision to scrub.
The demeanor in the LCC is very professional. They do their job.
Not even going to say it. Honestly, admit that they're disappointed, huh?
No more than all of us, including the LCC, wanted it to go today. But we also, and these guys that are the professionals know, it doesn't go until it's ready.
Any words? Anything? Did you share any private moments with Charlie? How's she holding up? Anybody? Any comments to keep her and her team everybody's motivated, but any other comments that you can share?
I will say this before Mike answers that. This team is very aware of potential fatigue, and therefore they gave sufficient time off for the team. Yesterday, after the MMT, which occurred, I think, 2 days ago, L-2, they gave everybody the day off so they could regroup and rest. And that's part of the lessons that came out of the Challenger report. Fatigue was a factor there. Mike?
Yeah, in terms of the firing room and Charlie in particular, one of the things that's one of the things that I particularly enjoy about the agency is you surround yourself with amazingly capable people and some amazing leadership, and Charlie is certainly one of those amazing leaders that we have in the agency. When I was talking to her about the scrub decision, she was focused, head in the game. She was, focused on the operation and the flight hardware and safing the vehicle and ensuring that her team had what they needed to get through the remaining operation. And that's kind of natural when you come from the operations realm. There's definitely time to reflect on that after you come out of the firing room, on the drive home, or once you're home. But that was neither the time nor the place, and she didn't show any inkling that she was focused on anything other than the right decisions for her team and for the spacecraft and for the rocket.
Marcia Smith, the Space Policy Online.
Marcia Smith, spacepolicyonline.com. Jim and Mike, I know you've both discussed this already a couple times, but I'm still unclear about the decision as to whether or not you're going to roll back. Jim, I heard you say you must roll back because of the FTS batteries. Mike, I heard you say if you roll back, then you might be able to recharge
Oh boy,
the
here we go.
CubeSats. You talked about how you might have you think you have several weeks of work.
Good
so
clarifying
if you were to go
answer.
to the range and ask them
Weeks of
to
work?
give you another waiver for the STS,
But this
it's
ain't
not
going
just a couple
till
days, it's several weeks.
October then.
So can you just sort of condense it all and concisely say, are you rolling back or not? Or when will you make a decision? And is the FTS battery the only thing that stands in your way of rolling back or not?
We don't have an FTS.
Why are they laughing?
waiver right now beyond 25 days. So until we have that, we have to roll back in order to satisfy the range requirement. I said we'll work with the range to try and get that, but we have to decide what it is, what the duration we want based on the launch period availability we have, and what they're willing to give us. So that negotiation hasn't happened. So as far as I'm concerned, we have to roll back because we have to satisfy that requirement. That's where I think Mike's if statement comes from, because that is a possibility, but we don't have that today.
And I'll just be upfront with you. I don't always pick the best words, right? And I could have chosen a better phrase or a better word in that case. And Jim is absolutely right. It is not our decision. It is the range's decision. They're the ones responsible for managing public safety. So when we roll back, unless we get a waiver, it is a rollback scenario. So I said if, and I apologize for that. I probably could have chosen better words. If that's the hardest thing I had to deal with today, then
wait, what did they just say then?
About that, so.
Are they rolling back? That's about as clear as mud now.
Good afternoon, Liz Hurley, WAFF Huntsville. My question can be for any or all of you all. Can you talk to me about actual costs?
She's got her reporter voice on.
Back-to-back scrubs. And do you feel there's a cost to public perception? There was so much build-up to this launch.
They won't admit it, but there's absolutely
so many people
a cost.
Came to Florida to spend a week hoping they'd get to see a moon rocket fly. Is there something that you're looking at now regarding the public?
What do you want them to do?
Talk about the back-to-back cost, and I'll talk about the perception.
Yeah, because you're the politician, my dude.
You know, space is the place. Everybody is really interested in this mission and going back to Mars and getting ready to go.
Well, they are
going back to the moon and getting
there's something
ready
new
to
happening.
Mars. One of the things that we did early on was we tried to stress that this is a test, and a test has certain risk. And we pounded that in every public comment that we had in order to get expectations in alignment with reality. And yet human nature is what you know it is. People are ready. You saw the crowds out here on Monday morning. A lot less crowds today. However, the nature of humans is that we want to see it and participate in it. And yet,
well, you hyped it all to hell and gone. So I mean,
that's why these guys are such consummate professionals. They do it by the book and when it's ready.
And as far as costs, I mean, I can't give you a number. I can tell you the cost.
Well, except in
there's commodities
Challenger's
we use with
case
oxygen,
or Columbia's.
hydrogen. We do try and recover some of those as we drain back into our supply tanks, but a lot of those cryogens boil off, so we have to have them topped off. I forget how many tankers we had after Monday's attempt. Exactly, I think we had like 5 or 6 waves, as remember Charlie talking about. But the exact cost of that oxygen, hydrogen, I can't tell you.
I think we've heard enough here. I guess I don't know what the hell's going on yet, so we'll get an update. We'll pass it along whenever we get one. I don't see the point of listening now. We're just getting a bunch of soft language and non-answers, and we don't know till they know, I guess. So sounds to me like they're rolling back, and it ain't happening until October if they roll back at the earliest. I mean, I think they can go somewhere toward the end of September, but it sounds like if they got weeks of work ahead, it sounds like mid-October sounds more logical. Let's get back in. Let's get into the game. We've been busy. We've been busy on Moonshine Base, capping off a crater and trying to get prepped for some things. And we're gonna see if we can't start on a. I need to get up and get some uranium, man. I've run into a bit of a power constraint. There's the old base right there. Starting off with this view, as you can see, fully capped crater, sealed up, Well, except for there's a hole in the middle because that's where a little connector port's going to go. We're going to build... I gave it a shot. I cannot build a large airtight hangar door right now with my knowledge and without mods, I think. So we're just going to deal with a surface landing pad and just be happy with that for now. I tried all kinds of things. I built a little separate test chamber over here and tried all kinds of configurations and experiments, and air tightness is a thing that I don't fully understand. I've got the base basically powered down right now. We with all the work that I did to refine and assemble all the parts to cap this thing off, all the steel that was needed, and to build another ship, a welder ship, because I didn't want to weld all this crap by hand. We built a little welder ship, built that thing, and you know, we've been a little busy. Everything's kind of turned off. So let me go down in here where it's nice and dark. So as you can see, we now have this side hangar door over here. So I expected most of the work with any type of mining or welding would happen inside the crater. So all I wanted was to be able to get out of here and get down into the crater area, because we're going to be capped off and we can't go through the roof anymore. So, and let me see where the batteries are. I heard a boop. What was the boop? I heard a boop. What was it? My phone trying to tell me something. What do you want to tell me? Oh, okay. I don't care. It's work. Don't care. I'm over it. I'm on vacation. All right. So the batteries are coming along. We got the base basically shut down right now, and the batteries will be charged back up in a few hours, or in an hour or so. Because I used them to charge up the batteries on. I built a welder here. This thing. We just got it parked here. I don't even have any landing gear on it or anything. And I took it off. I didn't leave it connected to the connector up there, just to make sure we saved power and I don't have feet on it, so it wouldn't have stayed on the connector anyway. But I was doing an experiment. I wanted to do the ion engines again. This time it was a little more successful because I was using the large ion engines for small grid, and that seemed to help a lot. And then just like 3 small ones for the side-to-side movement. I didn't put any upward or downward thrust, anything pointing upward on it, which was kind of a fail. And there's no real skin on this thing at all. It's just the bare bones. So it wasn't that big a deal, but it helped me cap off this bad boy, that's for sure. Holy crap, it took a while to do it. Built another connector out here and another large storage, because I felt like I was running out of storage space. And parked the miner. Here's how the miner wound up, by the way. It didn't work out the way I wanted it to. Oh, I was just very disappointed. What's up, Addo? I'm very disappointed with how this turned out. We reconfigured the engine area back here because why did we do that? I forget why I did it. I don't remember why I did it at this point. Huh. What was my reasoning? I forget what this even looked like before. Oh, we had like a big disc. We had a big disc, and then all the engines and stuff were kind of connected to that. We had like three up, 3 down, 3 left, 3 right, and then we had these center ones, and so we had like 1 big and 4 And then we had these 4 up here. Kind of spread the drills out a little bit more. And put some spotlights in there. But when I flew it before, it just wasn't enough thrust. So I wound up kind of changing things up. And so now we have 6 downward facing, 6 upward, and then 5 left and right. And we kind of took off. And so we just got 1 and 2 extras there pushing us forward. This is even at full, even when it's full of being mined, it's like almost perfectly balanced. I have just enough thrust to lift up and move. So, which is good. It was just how I want it. I don't need a lot of overkill. And then I was experimenting because I found these exhaust pipe things, and then if we needed more force to go forward with, I don't think we do. We could just strip those things off. These create like white smoke or some crap. It's just a bunch of some aesthetic thing happening. But this is, I hadn't even thought about skinning it. I had a diff for some legs here. Like I had a hinge and a long some armor blocks, and then another hinge, and then a landing gear. So basically it would fold down, and we'd have like a leg coming down, and then the hinge would bring it down the rest of the angle. So it'd be almost like a, I don't know, like a bent arm, bent leg thing happening. And then I had something underneath the chin that just basically rotated down a landing gear. The instant I lifted off with it, it was working great. I had the timing down for it and everything, so I could get everything to lower and it would line up and touch properly, 90, flat. I went up on the surface and tried to land and connect, and the instant I landed and connect, went, and then like flew off and clanged up quite badly. It was not good. So we had to go with static landing gear. Apparently that's something I didn't understand in vanilla. I don't know if it works better in some modded stuff, but that's what we've got right now. It works pretty well. I've bored out this hole quite a bit more. Got some iron out of here, more iron than I had been getting by doing it by hand. This is one little streak of iron down here. I haven't done any other real mining yet. I'm sure we will. It's pretty creepy down in here now. Get down here and turn the lights off. Like, it gets dark, man. It gets real dark. So it's pretty wild. So what we want to do, though, we're going to start creating this. I tried also taking the angel share up in the out into space, and trying to look for uranium. Scouted quite a few asteroids and found none. It kind of sucked. I found a platinum asteroid. That was about it, and some nickel. And an ice. Of course, ice are easy to find. So, yeah. I'm going to turn the base power back on. I don't know how much power we'll have. And we're just going to be doing some light assembly, so I think we could be able to turn things back on at this point. I did this very manually and haphazardly, so turn those on, turn our connectors on. Don't need to turn the drills on. Helm's already on, which is what we're standing at. Cargo containers don't have power. Light panels. We'll leave the mining drill outside turned off. Don't need it. Turn that on. I think the assembler is off. Okay. We're in recharge mode. So right now the power is, everything's working off the solar panels right now. We'll go ahead and turn those back on to auto. Got all this to turn back on. Yeah. Okay. That stuff should have been on already. We'll turn our module back on. So we're going to be doing some assembly. I think we got it. Well, I sure hope we got it all. What was the other modules we have? I don't see any of the other mods. Did I turn them on? We have yield mods. We have power efficiency mods. And then we have speed mods and stuff too, right? Why do I feel like I'm not seeing everything here? They don't seem turned off. Everything seems turned on. Yeah, speed modules, where are they at? They don't turn off and on? Speed modules. 1, speed module, speed module 2, speed module 3, speed module. Am I not seeing everything? I was not. This stuff is on. Why is it hidden? Oh, it is off. That is why. Well, that doesn't make sense. If things don't show up because they're turned off, there was all kinds of things that were turned off. I don't get it. Alright, so everything's back on now. For sure. I have no lighting in here, by the way, so that's a thing. The whole plan was to have this landing zone like either open up and drop down into like a bigger hangar that's basically like twice the depth here. Basically come down to like right here, whatever. So we could land a ship in here, then close it up and reseal it. But I can't, it's just, I've seen people do huge doors. It's just crazy big, overly constructed. It's crazy. I don't want to deal with that right now. So what we're going to do is, build this up real quick so we can start working on a ship up there. This is a piston and a connector, and we'll run a conveyor up underneath this piston at some point. But right now I want to get this, and then that way I can raise this. I hope. Well, I'm really hoping that may not go up. Actually, look at that. I thought the collision box was smaller because it was turned. The way it was turned, I might need to make this hole bigger. We'll see about that. I don't know how that's going to roll. But basically it's on a piston so it can adjust to whatever. I don't know how far off the ground the connector on the center bottom I'm going to put on the center bottom of the ship is going to be. Alright, let's go finish these pieces off. And then we can get to work. I really kind of need I really need to put a conveyor system over to this thing too, to be honest, because that's going to be the only way I'm going to have really easy access to materials. How are we going to do this? Run it from over here somehow? What is that? That's already a T junction. I need to take one of these. I need to take one of these and make these a T. One of those and run it out here. Of course, it's not online. That sucks. I'm looking right at the T junction, aren't I? Oh, that sucks. Oh, what a bummer. I think I T that and then curl it around and bring it out straight across. Feel like that's the best way to go. We can rough it up first, because then we're going to need to quickly disassemble that and put it back. That way we can still get stuff assembled. Alright, let's see here. What's up, Blind? I am so mad today. I wanted to see a launch week. I wouldn't be mad about it. You could be disappointed. Being mad might be a little tough, though. That's a... I still can't really fully decipher what the plan is. Still didn't really understand what they're thinking they're gonna do. I don't need those. I need interior plates. These. I need these. Let's rough this out. Alright, so we're gonna T, curl, and curl. I don't think they've fully decided what the hell they're doing yet. Is one thing. So I'm actually going to go ahead and dig this out.
Inventory full.
Whoops, a daisy. That was not good, was it? I didn't get the impression they knew what the hell they were doing yet. I think they're still trying to give themselves a wiggle room, but it definitely sounded like they were going to have to... It sounds like they didn't want to officially say it yet, like they wanted to try to give themselves one last shot at something. But it sounds to me like they're rolling back. I think they're going to see if they can do affect some sort of repair tonight or tomorrow. I got the feeling of that, and if based on how that goes, how well that goes or doesn't go, then they have to roll back because of the batteries that are used for the PTS, which I believe is the what is the PTS? It's got something to do with the emergency stuff, right? I can't remember what PTS stands for. It's got something to do with the I think if they need to like emergency destruct the rocket or whatever. I think those are the batteries for that. Ooh, should I have done that right there? Should have probably built this first. Oh, it can't get the pieces now. Are you kidding me right now? I've disconnected it. It can't get the pieces. Can I get them from over here? I can get them from somewhere, surely. Do they have to be constructed? I don't have the tubes. 4 construction comp and 2 small steel tubes. I don't have that anywhere. Are you kidding me? Oh my god. I've got to put the freaking thing back. Oh my god. What if take the materials from that to fix that, and then we can put that back. Right. Flippity doo. Come on. There we go. Now give me my ports, man. Why don't you have access to now? What do you need? You need iron ingot, and it's not in here. I gotta pull it out for you, huh? All right, mate. We'll get you some iron ingots, mate. Oh, there's none in here. Where the hell's the iron ingots at? I know they're somewhere. There they are. Can I get them? I can't need that much. Can't need that much. There we go. There we go. Now we're fully back in business. We're green across the board. All right, I need to make you. I actually need to make 2 of you. Let's just go ahead and get a second one in here too. Very loud. It takes time, but frustration is really for sure. I was all set up to broadcast on Twitch. I mean, you know. Fun fact, average shuttle launch was 3.5 scrubs per launch. What? Get out of here. Was it really? That's crazy to me. He did mention earlier in the press conference, he talked about the summer of hydrogen or the year of hydrogen or something. Apparently in 1990, they had a bunch of, they had like a, after 9 years of successful shuttle launches, they had to deal with a bunch of hydrogen issues. Energy low. I gotta go up in here, go over here, and do that. So I was like, yeah, I get it. Seems weird. You're having all these issues, but you know, hydrogen's hydrogen. And it's, I don't know how much of their issues today, they keep talking about this, what is it? Did they call it accidental overpressure? Some manual process that's not automated or whatever it was that they have to do was basically caused some. I wonder if that's, they haven't said that that's what caused the issue with the leak, but you know, it seems sus. They won't say what happened, what caused it. They're still figuring it out, you know. How low is that going to be? Is it going to be 1 cube low, which is fine. I can bring it right up into there. I can bring it up into right there. Kind of just want to run a pipe across right there. Instead of the whole shebang. The shrouded kind. Maybe just do that. Oh! Every piece is precious right now. I can't. And then we can hook it up right here. Go back to the old with this kind of stuff. I'm pretty sure that's also, these blocks are keeping that together. Because that doesn't Okay, good. That didn't turn, you know, didn't turn red, so that didn't mean it was going to split that grid. What am I looking for here? I'm looking for one of these. Boom. Yeah, that looks stable, right? What's wrong with that? Ain't nothing wrong with that, man. Ain't nothing wrong with that at all. Perfectly fine. Very well supported, wouldn't you say? Give me one of those. Give me one of those. Make all the parts. 1.9 scrubs per launch. I wonder how many did they have that didn't have a scrub versus how many they did, because I'm curious if it was like a few launches that got scrubbed quite a bit. Because I remember even before Challenger, and definitely after Challenger, there was a lot of cold and weather related scrubs. Temperature and weather related that happened. They were a little, you know, they didn't just launch in February and January, you know. That's something they got comfortable doing after a few successes, and if I recall correctly. How'd you get twisted up? What is this bull crap? How did that happen? I can't paint that till it's done. Give me pots. A scrub equals no loss of life or equipment. I mean, I would hope there'd be no loss of life on this since it's an unmanned mission. I mean, I guess if it blows up on the pad, I mean, there shouldn't be anybody near the pad. I can't imagine there would be a loss of life even if this thing blew up on the pad on this flight. God, I would hope not. But yeah, definitely. You would not have ever scrubbed just lots of booms. Well, you know, do enjoy a pretty fireworks show. I would never take such chances with people on board, but like if we're gonna call it a test mission, we need to find out what happens when it explodes. I mean, that's a valid test, right? You need to know what happens. You can't just assume it's always going to work and how it's going to break apart, how you're going to find the pieces when it does. I mean, there's a lot of things you need to know. Little boom boom test never hurt nobody. All right, let's see if this thing's going to blow up or not. Oh boy, this is going to be fun. Stuck immediately. Fantastic. Well, that solves that problem. That means I gotta do something here. I gotta dig these out. You're ruining my fancy Dan crosshair here. Bunch of crap. I suppose we'll need to put in like half blocks or something. Oh, we could put in Fancy Dan blocks here. These things, because the ends don't. Oh, they don't fit very well, does it? That kind of sucks, actually. I don't think we will do that. So we'll go with like a half block, I suppose. Like, thusly. Oh no. Oh no. Who made these textures? Why are you like this? Oh, it's terrible. I don't know what else to do though. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. Now we can... I don't know how high we're going to go with it, but... Oh, she rises. Where are you at right now? Let's go 2.5. Reverse. Maximum distance, 2.5 meters. Do it. I should put it right at the surface. Now we just have to not fall in, and we're golden. I don't know how we don't do that though. Well, these things suck. They're just the right size to be like not useful in this type of format. I would need to have it up above. I mean, I highly doubt I'm going to have the connector on the ship come down or be right on the surface like those are. They're probably at least going to be a block off the ground anyway. So I could probably raise that up. And so the piston head is past the ground level.
Low.
Oh, for Pete freaking sake. Working on the moon sucks, man. Hell. I guess I have to get energy when I'm on Earth too. It just feels like it goes away so much faster when you're working in an airless environment. It's like if your suit's having to constantly provide you oxygen. It's like it uses more energy. All right. We'll start with this for now. Well, we can figure this out later. So what do I have it on me in the way of? Nope. Can I even build a connector right there? Oh, it does. It can be built like that. Oh, not like that though. It can that way because the sides touch. Well, well, well. Let's go ahead and do that. What the hell's in production? I need that much steel plate? I got a bunch of steel plate on me. What are you talking about? Are you just taking your sweet time? What's up, El Roboto? Ready to stream on my end. I know. We got like an hour to go, right? I'm not screwing up with the time today. Let's see here. The best run in the program, 9 consecutive launches with no scubs, came from 93 to 95. Wow. Man, I don't remember them being so scrubby back in the day, though, in the 80s. That's crazy. I didn't realize that. Well, look at that. Worst was STS-61C and STS-73 with 6 scrubs each. When was that? Was that in the 80s, presumably, Addo? Look at that. You got that Wikipedia out, son. I'm just dying internally because of my race this morning. Oh, do you have a... I need some facts on that, bro. I didn't know you... Do you run track? Or, like... What kind of race are you talking about? I think I missed the memo. All right, so we're probably going to put our main cargo hold. So what we're making here right now, by the way, we're making a large grid. See, those ships and all the other ships I've made thus far have been small grid. These are large grid. So these are the normal large blocks, right? These big mammer jammers, but these are small grid, and which are 5 by 5, you know, 5 of these across and up make one large. So this is going to be interesting because I've never built one like this. I don't know if I'm going to put a cockpit on it. The cockpits are slightly bigger and different. They're basically the same looking things, but you don't have all the exact same connectors and stuff anymore. Like the large version of the workhorse cockpit just has the one big connector on the bottom. Whereas on the small grid version, it has the 2 in the back and it's got one on the nose. So it's really just meant for sitting around in and stuff. So yeah, it looks like there's even more room in there. Look at that. Like you actually could open the door and walk in there. Of course, I'm sure you just teleport and sit in there. You don't actually open that door. But I don't know if I'm going to have one of those. Since I'm going to build this thing, I'm probably going to just airlock it. But if I airlock it, that means I have to have oxygen. Well, I'm going to have oxygen tanks and stuff anyway, but... survival kits aren't... Oh, wait a minute. That's probably going to decide that. If I've got to have a medical bay, that means... And the reason we're building this, by the way, is for this. This. The large grid ore sensor. This has much better range. Clearly, than the little tiny thing that goes in this ship. Because that little thing only detects like 50 meters away or something. This thing detects a lot further away, so I can actually probably sense. Whereas if I find an asteroid that I don't see any surface deposits on and it's largely intact and large, then I usually can't see any deposits that are within it. This thing, I should be able to see deposits that are inside the center of the asteroid. So this is one of the reasons why we're building this. Actually, this is the only reason we're building this, because if I could get this thing, I think there is a way to get one of these big ones onto a small grid ship, but that's just ridiculous. It's ridiculous, and I'm not doing it. One of those 6 scrubs was in 95 and the other in 97. Oh, wow. So, well, you know, you would have thought that they would have had more scrubs in the wake of Challenger and then all the way in the 90s. I would have thought that they would have been like extra sensitive about scrubs and stuff and like just not worried about them and just like, we're scrubbing. Oh, things aren't perfectly right, we're scrubbing, you know, that kind of thing. Like in the immediate years after Challenger, but that's wild. Good facts, sir. Good knowledge dropping today. I presume you came prepared because you knew there'd be some disappointment. Smart guy. Smart guy. I don't know if we could fill up a massive thing like this though. This feels overkill. Try to fill up one of these bad boys. Let's go see what's the difference in the size. We've got a couple of these now. Let me in. All right. What is the size of you? You hold 65 point. No, that's what's in there now. Give me your stats, bro. I actually have to look at you to get your stats. You hold 421,875 liters of material. Whereas the next size down, one of these things, they only hold 15,000. Heck, what's on the mining ship? The large mammer jammer on this thing, how much does it hold? So this is the same size as the small grid large container is the same size as the large grid small container. This thing. Interesting. Okay. And so we've got, let's top off our energy since we're standing here. Are we even making headway on the bat? Oh, all right, the batteries are at 3 ticks. I'm feeling better now. I didn't like having it. This one got down like to none. It got totally tapped. I don't know why. I think I pulled the juice out of them into the other ship's batteries. So these things are going to be charged, if not today's solar cycle, then tomorrow. So what options do we've got here on large grid? Let me out. Let me out. Because I'm gonna just put I'm gonna put the cargo like right on the connector, man. Why not? Seems like the perfect place for it. I'm not gonna try to do like refining and anything on this thing. We'll haul it back because we're trying to make this thing basically as small as we can. So it's either the big one or this one. I could go with just like 2 or 3 of these things. Because basically these things are the size of a conveyor. Could just do that. Instead of 150,000, I mean, we don't have to fill it up, but daggone. It's just going to be that much harder to lift a large grid ship, that especially if it's what I'm concerned about. I'm not concerned about lifting off it at a 1/4 G, which is what we've got on the moon. We're at 1/4 gravity. We'll be able to lift off when she's empty. I'm concerned about landing when we're coming back and it's full. And if I've filled this bad boy up and we come in and try to land this thing and we don't have the thrusts, even at a 1/4 G, we're going to wind up accelerating straight into the daggum ground. That's no fun for me. So, maybe we just build like 3 or 4 of these things. And that'll basically give us like 3 times the capacity of the small ships that I've got, that I was perfectly happy to go out and mine with before. When we make like a huge interplanetary ship, we'll add some mining capacity, and we won't worry about. We'll make it. All right, so let's do this. Let's. They must have changed the model at some point, because that model looks like a smaller version of the large one. That's funny. Not sure I want to do this. I'm pretty sure that if this is the bottom of the ship, if that's the bottom, then either this is going to be the flight deck or the next. I got to have blocks below for a floor, right? So that's going to be the top of that's my floor for the flight deck. So we want cargo access on the flight deck. Why don't we just build 4 of them? Why don't we just do that? We'll put one there and we'll put another one there. Boom. How about that? And then this will be our flight deck. And then maybe another block. So if we can keep this thing like 4 or 5 blocks high, max, and then like 6 to 8, or 3 at 6, and probably like 9 wide. I think we'll be doing pretty good. Lengthwise, you know, we got some distance to play with here. This grid, this is no mistake. I made this grid based off what I thought would be the max size of at least this ship will be. So as long as we stay inside this zone, I think we'll be safe. With size-wise and things of that nature. I'm just trying to think of how many rear thrusters we're going to have on it. We'll probably have a hydrogen tank for each one. For each main thruster, rear thruster. So we've got 3 full hydrogen tanks over there. And we've already tapped our first strip of ice. We're straight down to the rock already. So I've either got to rebuild this thing and cut out like all these pistons, or most of these pistons, just to drag out the ice that's on top of here, which is not even double that, or I've got to pivot it over here. I don't know. I got to figure something out, or pivot it so it goes and pulls it out from over here. Or we could just use that ship to mine ice as well. I've brought back a bunch of ice off with the Angel Share as well. So there's different ways we can go. Okie dokie. What we got in the build planner? All right, we got 3 more. Let's get to building. Are we not able to make stuff? Okay, we're making stuff. It's just taking forever. It's all good. It's all good. I wish they were just a little more plain speaking in that press conference earlier. That's all I'll say about it all. That's all I'll say. Of course, they're not going to be, because it's politics are going to be involved, right? Why aren't these getting fully made? the hell's going on here? That got made. Is that one 100? Did it not look green? Why didn't this one get full? I'm missing 3 interior plate. What the heck happened? Weird. All right, so now we've got, what is that? 60,000 liters of storage space at 15, well, over 15 and a half a piece. So we've got like 62,000 liters as opposed to 150,000 liters. So we're roughly half of what we would have if we put one big one on there, which I think I'm fine with. The ship's probably going to be pretty blocky, probably more of a rectangular shape as it is. So, okay, what do we need now? Are we going to worry about... Yeah, we probably should worry about propulsion at this point. How do we want to handle that? Probably, where's our tanks? Here. Ooh. What if... I don't think a single thruster is going to pull it off. Thinking we're going to need 2. Okay, what can we do? That? Or should we conveyor out? I would like to try to connect that up to like right there. Like there. But that's blocking off both sides of the port for the storage. That's going to really cut off our access to that forward storage. And I think because this thing is so tall, let's rough it up. We'll see. Let's get a wireframe going on it. Yeah. So that's also going to block off that one as well. I need a better way to get energy out here for Pete's sake. I'm just going to go sit in this thing for a minute. So that's probably a no-go on that formation. Ideally, I would need that to be 1 block back, which means we're going to have to make it 2 blocks back if we're going to keep this thing compact side to side. Why am I not getting energy? Oh, my ship's not on. Brother, that's rough. That is real rough. Keeping the ship turned off so it doesn't pull power from the base. Let the batteries charge up, and especially now that we're going into nighttime too. So yeah, because that's not going to block. It's going to block off every port on this side. We can't get to that because this is really one big square. You know, it's a 3x3, I think. So, oof. We kind of need to bring it back. Will it even let me connect it that way? I doubt it. Who that is? Who are you? I'm gonna have to conveyor back. And I definitely want to keep it up high like that instead of drooping it down one. Because then we won't be able to armor the underside at all. If we go down here, because then we're going to be scraping the ground because it'll be on the same height as our connector there. We need to bring that back there. I mean, we could. Man, I really don't want to go. We could go 3 tanks, but then we would take everything we've got in storage here to fill these up. I'm not looking to make this thing that crazy powerful and fast. I don't think we're going to need it to be that fast. Heck, I wonder if we could get away with just one. I've never worked with a hydrogen thruster that on a large grid. What's the chances? Actually, that might. Would that be enough, actually? If I have one giant thruster on the rear, and then one large thruster on each of the orientations, would that be enough to fly this thing? What's the lift? I don't know what the lift to weight ratio is for a large thruster of the size that we're talking about here. That's what you're talking about. Where's my thrusters at? Did I kill them? They must have been on this tab next to where the ions are. Here they are. I don't want to use the fancy stuff. We'll save that for a proper ship later on. Is this small grid? Give me the big grid. Give me the big mammer jammer. Yeah, look at that big old mass. Look at that thing. Good Lord. Versus that. That's the size of the large on a small grid. This thing is gonna be mad. Look at this. That's crazy. Do I even want one that size on this thing? I don't think I want one that size. That feels a little disproportionate. Oh, look at what it would give me. It's got its own connector ports too. So I could actually put one here. I could actually... It's the lift I'm concerned about. Well, yeah, we're already messing up here because we don't have the room to put a large one down here for lift. So would 2 even lift us? I wonder. Oh boy, we could put one there too. I really don't want to have a lot of hydrogen coming in around this thing. Huh. Well, I guess there's nothing really to do other than build it and see, huh? Because I don't think it tells us the ratios. I'd have to like Google it and stuff. Which, why aren't the ratios in here? Hello. Seems like this is an important place to have that info. I would like to think. I don't think two of these are going to do it. I don't think just 2 downward thrust is going to work on that. I either need a large one like this, or I'm going to need like at least 4. Oh, brother. I don't have the room. We won't know until we try it. This is all experimental, right? I'm a big fan of thruster assemblies, so I like having all my thrusters back here, and then we'll just have to have some thrusters up front to face the other direction. So we'll incorporate those into the drill structure. I think I'm gonna do, one of the big concerns with large grid drills is that the radius for them. I found this one mod I've found out a way to actually make it useful. I was totally ignoring it. So when you look at these things, it even says Control Plus to cycle through different views. So Control Plus, look at that. I can actually see the radius of these things. So the green is the actual radius that it digs. So there's some overlap right there, right? They're overlapping each other. And people think that you have to be right together, but you can space them out by one, apparently. So we're going to do a little checkerboard stagger pattern. We'll either do 2 or 3 rows of drills on the front. Because if you're going to have to dig into an asteroid and have to tunnel it out, we really need to have as many drills on the front to handle the entire size of the ship. So yowza. Okay, so the other thing we're gonna need at least a couple of O2H2 gen sets. Oh, I gotta change that. Where's the normal thing? Yeah. We're gonna need at least a couple of these on here. Like that. To help replenish our tank. I'm thinking 2 per tank. So if we've only got 1 tank, we should be able to get away with that right there. You know what that does actually, by the way, if we do a 3rd one. See what that does? Oh, except for the bottom, which is where we really kind of need one. Ugh. That gives us a place for another thruster. Could I get away with having that there? I wonder. We could set up a system where when we land, if we keep the ship at this height, we could land, set off a sensor that then raises that up. So we can land first. Shouldn't damage the connector there. I don't think. I don't think. And not connect and raise it up, not bring it up and expose it until we're actually landed. I really feel like I need another freaking thruster there though. That feels very necessary. 2 just does not feel like enough. I'm liking that a lot better. I'm feeling a lot more comfortable with that. If it's overkill, I think it'll be slightly overkill. It won't be like a lot of overkill. That, or we can just move this thing up. We can add another freaking storage container and put it right there. And then move this up one. We could do that. We could do that, but that's going to suck. Because now this thing is here. And I want to be able to connect up and charge batteries and load fuel and stuff.
Energy low.
Woman, please. Ow. I could tear all that steel wireframe down and rebuild it one square back as well, instead of starting over. I don't want to start over. We could just do that. We could just do that. That idea is much better. Turn my ship on for power. That idea is much better. Because we haven't really done anything but use up steel plate. Like one steel plate per wireframe there. So we can wireframe until we get to a point where we're obscuring our ability to actually put stuff together. So what if we just push everything back? What if we put another set of cargo containers in? Or put some sort of spacer in here that gives us another... Because another two more cargo containers. Is our inventory full? Getting close. Our cargo containers, if we add more, then we're starting to tip toward the 150. We might as well just have one massive cargo container at that point. Which is gonna expand the size of the ship actually quite a bit. Whoopsie. What did I cut off? What can we do to extend that nicely? I don't think I have any extender collars or anything like that for large grid like we do on the small grid. I mean, I could just put conveyors in there instead. And that would just give us the extension and the materials movement without adding to the storage space. What do these things take? Interior plate of all effing things? Really? These back. Put these back. Give me the plate. I think I'd rather just do that. I don't want to add storage. Okay, and then that'll let us put the O2 gen sets. Like that. Yeah. I think. Does it look the same no matter how it's rolled? Doesn't really matter then. So we do it like that. We'll do it over here. Do we do 4 or 5 of them? That feels like overkill. What's an oxygen tank look like? Where does it connect up? Straight on? Oof. Oof. We could put him straight out from there. We only need like one oxygen tank though. We don't need a lot of oxygen. So we can just attach it to this one up here. This is our deck. Oxygen overhead, that's gonna suck. It's gonna limit our overhead. I hate having one block high stuff. But I guess we're trying to make it compact, right? So we shouldn't really care. Alright, so give me back these mammer jammers. Oop. Like right there. That would give us 3 to fill up one tank. Right? One massive honking tank right there. Okay. Oh, wait. Wait. These are wrong. Wait a minute, how did I do this before? Oh, there's one on the engine, one on the tank, and then one on the back of the oxygen. Yeah. Like, where did that third one go? I lost track of it. All right, so we need to lay these down like, because the conveyor is going to be underneath it. So right there will work. Yeah. Conveyors are 6-sided. So if we do that. Then we can do that. Boom. And then it gives us access there, there, and there. We've already got access here. That keeps us all on the same plane right there. So if we go to engines now. Where's my engine? 7. Here we go. Put the big dog back here. Oop. Nope. Messed that up. Think of that. And we can put little one, little one, little one, little one, little one. Boom. And now here's what I was concerned about. Now I'm safely one away from the connector. We've only extended by 1 block. I feel that that's a good trade-off. So there's our main thrust assembly, hydrogen storage, hydrogen generation, oxygen generation, and oxygen tank leading into our main system here. At which point we can run conveyors as a floor. Right. Pretty sure we can. Like, boom. I don't know how big I don't know how much conveyor we need is the thing. We could even do this kind, right? I feel like we can we can even take advantage. We can almost do a similar situation we have on the lunar miner. We can actually put like some downward ejectors to come out of here. I kind of like that. I kind of like that a lot. And instead of doing the conveyor, full square block conveyor, we can do something like this. And bring this toward the front. How much? I don't know is the problem. Okay. So we're gonna need a med center in here. Somewhere. There's no reason for this interior to get crazy big either. We need to be able to come into the ship. We need to be able to access a med bay so we can respawn and re-energize. Okay. We still want to be able to access this inventory. And the med bay's inventory for gases and fuels and stuff like that comes off the bottom and the top, so we could bring it up from the bottom right there. Do I have a med bay on here anywhere? Did I take it off? I bet I took it off. Son of a gun. Is that on the survival kit?
Energy low.
Nope. Well. When ggHick says another thruster, I am hearing Tim the Toolman Taylor right now yelling more power. Well, the man had a point. It's a genius way ahead of his time. Love that show. I actually take the meds. What is that? What is 8? Programmable block. I don't think we'll be needing you. We're not going to be doing anything fancy. Should we just cut you out right now? Where did I put it? I must have moved it. I must have killed it somewhere and replaced it with something else. I don't see it. How do I not have enough toolbars? That's what's insane. It's pretty wild. Pretty doggone wild. What can I replace? We don't need programmable blocks right now. Get out of here. We don't need a medical station. Those are just decorative. Bunch of crap. That's the mammer jammer right there. This thing. It's got access down the corner, which kind of sucks. What if we... That's upside down. Oh, I really wish you could do it that way, but we got to do it kind of this way. It sucks. We're already out as far as our... Brother, that's not cool at all, man. Uncool, dudes. What's the smart way of going about this? Could put it on there like that. Basically. And I'm blocking off where we put our ejectors at. And all I gotta do is like look over there at the monitor and look down at the monitor, right? And just get all zooted up. That feels cheese. That feels pretty cheesy to do that way. Where the heck am I gonna... Where the heck am I gonna what orientation do you respawn in when it's like that? Am I basically trapped in having a... Wow, they really need some sort of forward-facing... This thing is so awkward. This is not cool. This is not cool, game. I don't like this at all. I don't like it one damn bit. No, sir, don't like it. Oh, brother, where do I put this at? How do you fit this? What's the elegant solution for this damn thing? What kind of bull crap is this? There's no elegant solution at this point. Unless I just cheese it and just slap it on. Because I don't want to get much wider than this. I only need like one column here. If I stick it on here like this, right? There's just no easy way to do this. What a weird piece of equipment to be forced to use. How very strange. All right, if I come onto the ship, like, can we work this out? Can we work this out here? Maybe we just don't have... Maybe we come up with some other solution for... The only other way to access cargo is to actually have a cargo hatch or a connector hatch. So either I put another cargo in line with this and just get cargo out of the floor if I need to. Or it goes like that. Which I can't do, right? Because the oxygen tank's in the way. And if I do that or that and just feed it up from the bottom, then how do I... Do I say... So if I put it here, right, and the panel's here, do I like create my access to the ship from this side? So when I come in the ship, it's like I gotta make it like a little rounded corridor here, but right there on my right, as soon as I go in the door, is the panel to feed off energy and stuff, and then come around, walk around it down into the cockpit. Or do I set that out to the side? I could. thinking that way, I could set it up so can't actually get to it that way right now. Could push this back over one. Let me create a little something to put that on top of for right now. How much time we got left? Oh, we gotta get out of here in a few minutes. I could put it on here like this. So when I come into the ship, I've got like a little corner here. Oh, then that's going to be terrible to get in and out of. I've seen this thing built. Having a wall right here, I'd almost need to bring it forward one. But I could walk into the ship and have basically like a little room right here that's energy storage access. And I would probably respawn right where the Taylor part is at. And then I could then walk around. Right, could probably do it like that, I suppose. This is a horrible decision. I don't like this. So come up into the ship like from right here. Somewhere, somehow. Boom, I'm in. I've got storage access. I've got health right here. Boom. And then I have to go around and then down to the main corridor to the cockpit. So I could put the cockpit like right off of this. Or we could build our helm cockpit area up here if we're going to leave it open and just have windows. But oh, we could do that. We haven't done that before. Instead of using a prefab cockpit. Then I got to figure out air for an airlock. I suppose I could draw put a vent curl around like a conveyor to here, put a vent there or here. I think I want to leave this up so I actually have somewhere to work at an airlock of somehow if we're coming in on the right side. That, or I flip it all around and come in off the right side, the starboard side of the ship. I would love to be able to do it from both sides, but I think we're going to have to pick a side. And there goes. I would like to keep it symmetrical, but I don't think we're going to be able to. I think we're going to have to choose, which I don't want to do. But I really don't want to. I don't want to keep the floor, the deck, wider than three tiles, because then we're going to have. If we have another set of tiles, at least we'll be even with the ends of the thrusters. For a hull, right? We got the makings of something here, though. Doing great. Hope your stream went well. Who? Who? Oh, yo, hope y'all are doing well. I didn't see your chat, man. I apologize, Van Year. My bad. We got raided? Why didn't I get notified? 4 minutes ago? Thank you, I'm Van Year. Much appreciated. Am I following you? Why are I following you? What kind of streamer do you be? What are you streaming? What are you streaming today? The Old Republic, eh?
Low.
Nice. Was that today? That was last month. What were you streaming today? You didn't have a VOD from the day, bro. I don't know what you were streaming today. You got your VODs turned off, I bet. That's probably what it is. Well, thanks, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Holy crap. I'm about out of here, though. I'm out of here in about 5 minutes, but El Roboto Gaming will be coming on. Take over the stream at the top of the hour. So welcome in, you guys and the Raiders. Much appreciated. Throw you a follow there. Thank you very much. Thank you. Salutations and well met, ggHick. I'm designated virtual, 4th edition. What is this? What a bot, bro. I love it. I like it. I like it. Very nice. Holy crap. Very cool. I wish I knew what you were playing before you came over, man. Very cool. It doesn't tell me what your recent games are. Does it? I'm looking at your schedule. Well, you're probably playing Old Republic. Looks like. Your schedule is full of Old Republic, so I was going to presume you were playing Old Republic. Welcome in. Welcome in, welcome in. Sorry, I missed that. Did we get the notification? Why am I not hearing them though? That's the problem. Before they were just blowing my ears out. Have I made them too soft? I think I may have made them too quiet. Let me raise it back up to the red. How? Did it make a noise? I apologize. Holy crap. Well, I'm glad it wasn't 15 minutes ago. It was only like 4 or 5 minutes ago at this point. Jeez Louise. I feel so bad. Yeah. Before I actually put a audio mixer slider for that activity feed in OBS, I was like getting my ears blown out every day.
Energy critical.
Yeah. Energy's always very, very critical. Well, I think we got the starts of something here. I just got to figure out. It's probably going to change in the meantime. But if I keep that relatively compact and basically have a cockpit area here and then some drills that come out to here, right? And only make it about that wide, I feel that's a pretty good basic, baby's first large grid compact mining ship at this point. I think we'll be doing pretty daggum well. I do indeed. Let's get our progress saved. We'll work on it off stream and we'll come back probably Thursday. And you can see if we've made any progress. Hopefully I've made some progress. We'll see how that goes. But that had to be later. No worries. I was doing some base building and space engine. Oh, you were? No, okay. That makes more sense then. It's like, well, you must know us from you must know TrekRadio already, or somebody from TrekRadio to rate us if you're coming from SWTOR. That makes more sense. Haven't played it in a couple years. Was getting bored of Star Wars. I've been enjoying my time in Space Engineers. I've been playing it for several weeks now. After owning it for many years and never playing it, I finally decided to get into it. I don't know how many weeks ago at this point. 4 or 5 weeks ago at this point, I think. We've already had a base on Earth and built our first. We've been out here to the moon, and we've kind of been working here ever since we got here. So we're just progressively working our way up to a full-blown interplanetary ship. First time. So appreciate the raid, though. Much appreciated. I typically stream on Thursday nights and Saturday afternoons here on TrekRadio Official, and it's been pretty much all Space Engineers lately. So I can't. The last thing every now and then, unless No Man's Sky comes up, me and Animals play that on Thursday nights, which I expect there'll be a new update on that pretty soon, and then that'll probably correspond with a new expedition. So, but that's it for me, everybody. I'm out of here. I got to step aside. El Robot Gaming coming up next. We'll see what he's got planned for us today. Last week, you got to see the new Goku release in Fortnite. I guess that had to do with the whole new Dragon Ball Z movie that came out, presumably is why that was in there. It's an odd choice for Fortnite, but whatever. I'm a DBZ fan from way back. I heard the new movie's good, actually. It's set in the alternate time with Trunks, alternate future Trunks, where Goku actually died from the heart thing and Gohan was his master and all that time. It's supposedly that Gohan. Need to check that out. That was a good period in DBZ. At any rate, I'm out of here. Thank you guys. Trek Radio Official here on Twitch. Drop us a follow. Got the Prime, whatever. Much appreciated for that. If you're looking for Trek Radio Official, you'll find it on Facebook and Instagram. If you're looking for us on YouTube or Twitter, it's just Trek Radio. And if you're looking for the VODs, if they fall off Twitch, that's where they'll be. They'll be over on the YouTubes. The Live 365 Internet Radio mothership, fully licensed music and other types of shows there 24/7 on TrekRadio.net. You can find me, ggHick, right here on Twitch, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube. I'm out. Peace. Have a good weekend. Maybe we'll get SLS to go up on Monday. Fingers crossed, but probably not going to happen until next month at this point. So, GG's.